Hey guys, welcome to a new MasterThatRiff. Today I'm going to be looking at a classic bit of George Lynch riffage, Dokken's It's Not Love. Now, tuning wise, the song's actually a little bit, it's almost about a half step down. I think it's about 60 cents flat from standard tuning. What I've done is I've done the whole thing in standard tuning so you can play along. But if you want to play along with the recording, just watch out for that. You may have to tune a half step down. Now the intro bit is this nice kind of quiet, a little power chord type stuff on the D and G strings. So if we look at the chords, we're going to play first off. There's four little shapes we're going to be doing. First one, is pretty much an A power chord off the D and the G strings. So I'm at the 7th fret of the D there, and 9th fret of the G. The finger wise, there's loads of different ways you can play this. I may have played, I can't remember how I did in the demo, I might have done like first and third finger to second. George Lynch, if I recall, would use his first and fourth finger and then third finger. And the reason for this is when we move into the next chords. So this first chord, 7 on the D, 9 on the G, I'll use my first and fourth fingers for that. Next chord is this. So we just take that 5th and flatten it. Really classic George Lynch little thing to do. Just adds a little bit of sinister metal vibe to it. You know, loads of George Lynch riffs have that in that. Yeah. Next chord, pretty much it's basically a kind of C power chord there, inverted. So what I'm doing is I'm playing 5th fret the D and then 5th fret the G string. Now fingering wise, if you use your first and fourth here to third, then when you move down to this shape, you can keep that third finger on the G string and just use the middle finger to play the D string there. And then the last chord is this. Okay, so I move that note on the D string back a fret from the 5th fret to the 4th, and I use my first finger there. And that's kind of like a little D7 type thing. Okay, so that's our four shapes. What we're actually doing, as you can see, I'm kind of playing this hybrid picking, and I did that in the demo. What we've got is a nice kind of cleanish tone. I've got the gain marked up in the amp, but I'm rolling back in the volume here, giving me a slightly cleaner tone, a little bit more to how George Lynch would have played it live, rather than the recording, which may be an overdub. But we're going to be plucking these strings so you've got a little bit of a staccato kind of feel, and it's all even eighths, so it's kind of like a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and what I'm doing is when I go to the second chord, I'm going to put a bit of vibrato on it, so it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and you can hear these notes sliding as you transition to the next shape. So from here, same rhythm. So notice whenever I play these little kind of little diminished shapes, I put vibrato on it. Yeah. So that goes. Then you slide back up. Now this slide back up, if you're using the third finger here, you're going to end up with the first and third. So if you want, you can slide and then transition to the pinky as you go into the start of it again. And notice, you know, as I said, I'm using my middle and the ring fingers to pluck the strings here so I can keep holding my pick. But if you want, you could palm the pick, use your thumb and index finger. That way you can control the dynamics. This idea when you're playing with the fingers, you've got kind of a little bit more control in the dynamic versus using a pick. It can be quite tricky to play really quiet with a pick, but a bit easier with the fingers. So that adds to kind of the build-up of the song. So that little intro bit, it's kind of 4 bars long. We do that 3 times. So if I play it once through slowly, this is what it sounds like. Okay, and then the third time, what you do is you just kind of end in that chord. So you kind of go. Yeah, because now we're going to lead into the kind of distorted riff. So the lead into the main riff starts like this. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to slide to the 5th fret of that E string there. I use my 3rd finger. Then I'm going to play 5 or 5th fret of that A string with the 4th finger. If you want, you could do 2nd and 3rd, but you want to be in a position that you can to go down to play 3rd on the E string and then 3rd on the A string. Okay, so you slide up 5, 5, and then 3. And then the last 2 notes are 3 in E string again, and then 5 on that A string, which you kind of slide off as it leads into the riff. So slowly that bit goes. And you can put a little bit of a pan mute or control the E string a little bit when you're doing that. Okay. Now once we've done that bit, next section sounds like this. So we start these 2 bars off. First bar. So I'm going to start with an A power chord. Then what I've got is 3 open A strings pan muted. So that basically is like your 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Okay. Then I've got a little F power chord, so I'm playing 3rd fret of the D string and 5th fret of the G string here. Now I use my 1st and 4th fingers just to help with the next chord, but you could use 1st and 3rd there. Again, whatever feels comfortable. So we basically play that F power chord, and then I've got 2 open A's, pan muted, and I've got this little, it's kind of like an inversion of a D. Yeah, and what I've got here is 4th fret of the D string, 7th fret of that G string. Okay, so slowly that bar goes. Okay, now make sure you get a nice dig in on those pan muted A strings. If I remember reading correctly, I think on that album Michael Wagner got George Lynch to use like a washer to pick the strings, so you get this real sharp attack in the strings. So that's what you're kind of aiming for there. So it's nice and distinct, very punchy, you know, very metal. Okay. Next bar you have classic bit of rock slide here. So what I'm doing is basically playing the open A pan muted 4 times, or on beats 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and then there's a 1 there as well, so it's 1 and 2. And once I do beat 3, I'm going to do that A string, and then I have a little just a percussive down up, and then slide down from some point up the neck here. Don't have to be too specific about it, as long as you get that, because it leads into another 2 bars of the riff. So those 2 bars slowly. Okay. Next 2 bars sound like this. Okay, so you can see the first bar is exactly the same as we did before. It's our A, the F, and this D. It's the next bar, it's quite interesting. We have this. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm going to start off, that whole bar starts off with a pan muted A string. And then I have this. And what I'm playing here is pretty much a power chord. So those notes there. But I'm splitting them across the D and the B strings. So my 3rd finger's on 5th fret of the D, my 1st finger's on 3rd fret of that B string, and the underside of the 3rd finger will mute that G string. And what I'm doing is I'm basically playing all even 8ths, and I do down, down with the 5 and the 3, then I take my middle finger and play 4th fret of that D string, so I'm moving this note down, and I played 2 downs in that, so it's like, and then I'll go back to here and do 2 downstrokes again, and at the end of that you kind of hear it slide off a little bit, and then there's a pan muted A string at the end of that as well, but that feels more like a lead-in to the riff again. That. Okay, so if I take it from the start here with A power chord, slowly that sounds like this. Yeah, and then you would lead into the next 2 bars. Okay, so I've seen transcriptions of it where when it's kind of picking the strings. It's hard to tell because all the notes are ringing together, but I think looking at some live footage, I think it's more of a rhythmical kind of downstroke thing. As long as you can hear the, you know, it's going to sound like the song. Now once we've done that, got another one of those bars, and then we have okay. So the second of these two bars starts. So I've got another one of those open A string, pan muted kind of bars, 1 and 2 and 3. Then I have an A power chord, which I'm going to do with a quick down up stroke. Okay, so I'm barring at the second fret of the D and G strings there. Okay, then I've got a little bend middle finger, third fret that E string, and I end it with an E power chord. So I'm barring here at the second fret of the A and the D strings now with the open E string. This is a classic little kind of A leading into an E thing. Okay, next bit, without catching the trem with your sleeve, that bit there, basically I transcribed these two open strings here, but it's more of a rhythmical feel. It's like a ba ba, yeah. And what you're hearing in the bass is 2 and 3 on the E string. But what you've actually got is an open A string, open D string, and then you've got this, which is pretty much second fret of the E string, so that you can hear the D string coming out as well. That. Okay, so it's like second fret E, that A string's muted, and then you hear the open D string, and then you play a G power chord. So my second finger's third fret of the E string, that mutes the A string, and then my third finger's on the third fret of the B, my fourth finger's on the third fret of the high E string there. So it goes, yeah, and then end it off with a. Okay, so I've got an open A string, then I play 3, 2 in the A string with the second to first finger, and that first finger plays second fret of the A string there, and I give it a little bit of a dig in to get a kind of semi-pinch harmonic. It's about here, you know, on this guitar, in between these two humbuckers, roughly that area. It's about an F sharp note. So it goes, play third fret of the E string again, maybe a little bit of a slight bend, and we end it with an A power chord. Again, barring second fret of the D and the G strings. Okay, so that little ending phrase goes. Okay, so let me put that all together from the lead-in bit, and I'll play it slowly. So it sounds like this. Okay, so brilliant riff, great song, Under Lock and Key is an awesome album. So if you've never heard it before and you like a little bit of early 80s kind of rock, I recommend you go and check it out. As usual, if you want to keep up to date or keep seeing lessons come up, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And as usual, check out MasterThatGuitar on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, all the usual places. There's some stuff that pops up on Instagram that you won't see here, of course, but you know, if you stay tuned, you'll generally get to see some stuff. But as usual, have fun with that, and hopefully I'll have another lesson up soon.